Now next thing is two-dimensional arrays. So I'll show you how to create a two-dimensional array and what are the various ways of creating it. So let us understand two-dimensional array. See, here is a structure of two-dimensional array. So actually it is looking like a matrix. Yes, it's like a matrix. So mostly if you want to perform any operations on the matrix and you want the data in the form of matrix, then two-dimensional array is suitable. And also it is looking like a table with rows and columns. So yes, even if you have a tabular form of data, then you can go for two-dimensional array. So in your application, if you need matrices or tabular data, go for two-dimensional arrays. So here I have a syntax. This is the syntax for creating a two-dimensional array in Java. So what does it mean and how it is created? I'll show you. See, this is integer type. So the data type I have taken is as integer. Now this two-dimensional array can be seen as, this is an array. If you just look at the first row, the next array, the next array. So actually there are three arrays. So can we say array of arrays? Yes, we can call it as array of arrays, collection of arrays. So this structure is made in a similar fashion. So let me explain. This is a reference. This is a reference, right? Then int of size 3, int of size 3. So this is an array of size 3, 0, 1, 2. This will make array of size 3. Then next is of size 4. So actually these are rows. These are rows. Or you can say these are array of references. Then 4. So for this one, there will be an array of size 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. Then this is also an array of size 4. And this is also an array of size 4. So here if you see, this is A and this is for array of references and this is array of elements. So if you read it from right side, this is an array of elements, right? 4 array of elements. How many are there? 3 are there. So these are 3. Then that is referred by A. So this is a reference. So this everything will be created inside heap as we are saying new, right? Now just accept A, that A may be in stack or may be in heap, but rest of the things will be created in heap. So this is how a two-dimensional array is created, which is useful for matrices or tabular data. An actual structure looks like this inside the main memory. Now I'll show you the other method of creating as well as initializing a two-dimensional array. Suppose I am creating an array and I want it to be initialized with some set of elements. So I'll take the name as A only. This is a two-dimensional array. Now instead of giving the size and dynamically creating it, we can initialize with some elements. So here I will write on the elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and next comma, next row is 2, 4, 6, 8. This is another row. Then one more row I will take, that is 3, 5, 7, 9. Now this is first row, second row, third row. 3 rows are there and each row is having 4 elements. So this will create a two-dimensional array of size 3 rows and 4 columns. So 3 rows and 4 columns. So same array will be created, but it will be having the elements initialized. 6, 8, 3, 5, 7, 9. So these elements will be initialized. This is how you can directly initialize. And remember, this is also created in heap. Whether you use new or don't use new, array is an object. It is treated as object in Java, so it is always created in heap. Now I will show you one more method of creating the same array. I can even do it like this, integer A. This is a reference to two-dimensional array, right? See this portion, this one, I am separating this. Left hand side, this part is separate and that part is separate. So this is a reference of two-dimensional array. Then in the next line I can say A assign new int of size 3 and 4. Like this, you can do it in 2 steps also. You don't have to write always in one single statement. You can write it in 2 statements also. Now next I will show you how to access this array. Suppose an array is created like this, initialized with these elements. I just want to display all the elements. So let us see how we can use for loop as well as a for each loop for displaying this array. So I'll remove this and I will write on the code here. For displaying this using for loop, I need 2 indices. That is, as it is like a matrix, so we need a row number and column number, right? A row index and column index. So for these rows, I will take one index, let us call it as I, where I will become 0, then 1, then 2. Then for columns, I need one more index, let us say j. So that j should become 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'll use a for loop. So for, I will display all these elements. For integer I assign 0, I is less than. Less than how many? 3. No, I want to use length. Length is one of the property of array. We have already seen it. So how to take the length? I should say a dot length, means a dot length. See, a is directly pointing on this one, right? So I'll get the length of this one. So I can say a dot length. This gives number of rows. This is number of rows, right? Then I plus plus. Now for each row, I have to access all the elements in these columns, right? So first row, right? I have to access all these elements. So let us take one more for loop for that number of elements. Integer j assign 0, j less than what? 4. No, I want to use length. So I have to take the length of this one or this one or this one, any one. All their lengths are same. So how to get the length of that one? See, who is having the reference of this one? Where is the reference of this? This one. So what is this? A of 0. If I say only a, this is referring to this array, right? So a dot length means I got the length of this one. Now I want the length of this row, right? Row. So I should say a of 0 or 1 or 2, anything. So it's better directly use a of 0 dot length. Dot length. So length of this one, its reference is here. So that is a of 0. So a of 0 dot length. So this is the method for giving the number of columns. So this is for number of columns. Number of columns. Now ing values will be taking 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, then 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. All these values will be taken. So if I say system.out.println, I can print all these values. System.out.println a of I and j, I comma j, though we don't write comma, but we can read it as I comma j. Then after this will be printing just one row, printing one row, the next row, the next row. So this is for rows and this is for printing all the elements of a row. The outer for loop is for changing the rows. Now once the row is changing, I want a new line. So I can say system.out.println. For a new line, I can say /n for a new line. So that's all. So this is how I can print all the elements of an array. Now next thing I will show you for each loop. I'll just modify this one and I will change it for each loop. Now I have two nested for loop. I have to use for each loop. Now see, first one, I will call it as integer x from a. See, if you remember, I have shown you for each loop, this will become element. But for a is reference to this array. So what are the elements in this array? This is not having elements. Then what are these? These are not elements. These are references to arrays. So these elements are not integer elements. These are references to integer arrays. So this should be a reference. Now x will become first reference, then next reference, then next reference. So it will be taking all the references. So first it will be reference to this array, then this array, then this array. So for accessing two-dimensional array, first variable you have to write it as a reference of type integer, right? Then next, inner for loop. Now I have to access these elements. So for that I should take y. Y will be taking the values of these. From where? From here. What is this referring to? X. So from x. Now x will be taking a reference to an array. Y will be taking the elements from that array. So this is the syntax. Now who are actually getting the values, x or y? Y. So just print here y. Print y. No need to print x. X is not a element. It's a reference to an array. So y is taking the values. So y is printed. So how it works, let us see. First time this will become x. This will become x, right? I'm writing in short here. This is x. Then y will take all these values. This y becomes 1, y become 2, y become 3, y become 4. Next time Next time again, next value of x. So this will become x. This is x, right? There is nothing but a reference. And y will take all the values from this x, that is 2, 4, 6, 8. Y will take all the values. So in this way, it will print all the elements of this array. So for each loop is used for accessing two-dimensional array like this. This is the syntax. So that's all how to create an access I have shown you. Next thing I'll show you how we can create a jagged array or ragged array. That is, we can have these arrays of different sizes. So let me show you how to create. Yeah, here suppose I want to create a 2D array like this. So this is not a uniform or regular sized array. This is a jagged array. So this is of different sizes. How to create this one? So let us see the syntax for creating this one. If at all you require, you can create like this. So this is a reference to this array of references. Now this is, I will create this A of type integer. This is A. Okay, this is a reference. This is an array reference to an array. But this is not a reference to an array. This is a reference to an array of references. So I should take it one more time. So this is for two-dimensional. This is the first step. So only this A is created. Now I should create this one. I should create this array. So A assign new int of size 3. So this will actually create an array of size 3, array of type integer. No, I don't want array of type integer. It will be like this. No, I want this array of references. Okay, one more bracket. Now this will create only this structure. I'll highlight this one. It will create only this structure. Okay, so because this is array of references, array of size 3, okay, for what? Not just integers, array of references of type integer array. So these are the references. So you have to give one more empty bracket. So this will create this structure. Now I have to create all these arrays one by one. So first of all, A of 0. So A of 0 assign, say new int of size 2. This array, this is an array of integers whose reference is kept here in A of 0. So it will be pointing on this one. Then A of 1 assign new int of size 4. So this array will be created and whose reference is taken here. Then A of 2, this is new int of size 3. This array will be created. So this is jagged array. So this is one of the important concepts mostly asked in interviews. So whether you can create this type of array or not. So this is the syntax, this is how you can create it, and this will be the shape. So that's all about two-dimensional arrays. I'll give you some programs on this one, and also I will give coding exercises, and there will be a demonstration also for those coding exercises. So that's all in this topic.